Hey, good morning, church. I pray all is well with you this Friday morning as you get ready for the day. We're going to continue our study in the book of Psalms. Today we're looking at Psalms chapter 30. And It's an interesting Psalms whenever you kind of put it into context. Some of the studies that I've done about this Psalms kind of talk about, as it does with most of them, when they might have been written. And the speculation, they have several on this Psalms, but one that kind of stood out the most to me was that David might have written this Psalm back. If you'd go back and read First Chronicles chapter 21, there's this big plague that had come through, and there was a lot of suffering. And it was at the end of that, there was a dedication of a threshing floor, that it's real possible that this Psalms came from that time where you've gone through this really difficult and hard time, and now you're on the other side of it. And if you read verse number 1 there, it says, "I will exalt you, O Lord, for you have lifted me up." And so that sounds like there was a time whenever it was down or there was hard, or there was something bad that had gone on and they had been picked up. But there's other things inside this psalm that I think are really good for us to look at. In fact, I love part of this Psalms, and in verse number 4 it says, "Sing praises to the Lord, you saints of His." Folks, we are the saints of the one and only true God. We have been adopted into His family. We are His children. We call Him Abba, Father. And we shall sing His praises because we are the saints of God. And whatever is going on in your life, whether good or bad, we should sing His praise. It continues on there in verse number 4, "And give thanks at the remembrance of," and I like this, "His holy name." And even the remembrance of His holy name, we give thanks. But I want us to kind of focus here for just a moment on verse number 5, because to me, it points out something that maybe we've never thought about before. It says, "For His anger is but for a moment, His favor is for a lifetime." Or is for a life. Or so God's anger at us might last for just a moment, but His favor is forever. And then it says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." I just love that verse and the way both of it. It's almost like a dad. I remember raising our children, and I would have to discipline our children for some reason. But that only lasted for a moment. My love, my care, my fellowship with my children, after the small time of discipline, was back to love and kindness and mercy and grace that I would bestow upon my own children. And I think that's what verse number 5 is saying to us. And then, if you will, go ahead and turn over to verse number 11. And again, if you have this picture of this plague that has been going on, now they're coming out of the backside of it. And verse number 11 says, "You have turned for me the morning into dancing." The morning, not the morning like the daytime, but morning like you're crying. And you have turned the mourning or the sadness into dancing. You have put off my sackcloth. Now, sackcloth was something that people would wear during a time of distress or mourning. And you have clothed me with gladness. Folks, whenever I read that and think even what's going on inside our nation, I think that it's time for us to take off our sackcloth and put on the gladness of the Lord, for He is good all the time. Hey, look forward to seeing you Sunday morning, God willing, and please enjoy your study of Psalms chapter 30. God bless and have a great day.